Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I'm Monica, and today I'm in the mood to try some new makeup. I just recently did a video trying new makeup, but I haven't done these sort of videos in a while, and I've just been having the itch to. So today we're trying a handful of new products, and I think it's a little less bumpy than the last one. I'm a little bit more in practice this time. There's like 5 or 6 products in the bunch that I'm going to be trying out, and I'm so excited to try them out with you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to testing some new makeup. Alright, so I'm going to start off by trying the new Maybelline The Falsies Surreal. I really like the regular The Falsies. I think it's one of their best mascaras. So I love the color of the packaging. The brush looks like it'll be pretty good. I went ahead and curled my lashes, and we're just going to start applying it. I just got the regular version, not waterproof, because I hate waterproof mascara. So let's just go ahead and jump in. Alright, so off that first coat, it's just kind of lengthening them, obviously adding some color to them. So there's not a whole lot of volume going on. So let's do another coat, see what happens. So that's with 2 coats. I think that's where the magic starts to happen. You kind of get a little bit more volume. Obviously the length keeps building. I'm really liking the way it's looking. Kind of fluttery. I really like it so far, so I'm interested to see like how it's gonna wear. Now that I've tried the mascara, I'm going to be trying a new Natasha Denona mini palette. It's the new Starlette palette. It's a very pretty color story, but if you've ever watched really any of my videos where I talk about products not to buy and stuff like that, I often bring up Natasha Denona eyeshadows. I just think the formula is a little overrated. I've never had a whole lot of luck. A lot of times the color payoff is different from what's showing in the pan. They can be a little patchy. The shimmers they just don't do it for me. So I decided to try this out. I've heard through the grapevine that this is the best eyeshadow anything that she's ever put out. Palette, mini palette, like it's the best one. So I figured we'd try it. I like the tones, but I also am a little hesitant because, like I've already said, I tend to think that her eyeshadow formula is just a little bit overrated generally, but we're gonna give it a try. We're gonna give it a try. I like the layout here. I'm going to start off with this shade right here. We're just gonna do a little bit of crease action. I'm going in, by the way, with the A503 brush from the Angie Hot and Flashy and BK Beauty collection. It's my favorite fluffy brush. Actually, this entire brush collection is like my favorite set of eye brushes. Alright, so that one went on pretty well, but it's a very light shade, so I don't really think that one would be the one that would show any of the patchiness I've dealt with in the past. So we're gonna go in with the next shade, which is this one over here. Oh, these do have names. So I first went in with Vega, then I'm going in with Per Se. So I'm just gonna go in actually on the same brush. I'm loving the tone of this in the pan, so I hope that it comes off the same way on my eye. So let's just see. Natasha Denona also just recently launched, what is it, like the nudes or I Need a Nude or something palette. The color story is very tempting, but I have tried her palettes in the past and haven't been thoroughly impressed. So that one I'm still on the fence on, but if I do like this one, I may consider trying that one out. It's in like the $60 range, not like the $128 range or whatever the really large ones are. So actually these are going on very nicely. This isn't what I've experienced in the past with the Natasha Denona eyeshadow formula. They really do like go on pretty patchy, but this is not. This is going on very nicely. I'm really liking that color too. So I'm gonna try to use all the shades in here. So I wanna go in with this shade right here, Galaxia, I think. It's like a shimmer, and I'm of course want to go into this shade Rhea. It's like, I don't know, it looks gorgeous. But we're gonna start off with Galaxia. I'm just gonna go in on my finger and do like the middle to outer. It's like a bronzy, typical shimmer shade. It's going on pretty nicely. I wouldn't say it's revolutionary. I mean, it's nice, it's pigmented, but I mean, I also get this same look with like my Maybelline Nudes of New York when it comes to the shimmers. It's a little bit more subdued, which I actually gravitate towards on a day-to-day basis. Very nice, like I said, nothing special, but I like it. Now I'm gonna go in with Rhea, which is this shade right here. I'm just gonna go back on my finger. It seems like almost like a duochromatic shade. And we're just gonna go, I know this one's gonna be more glittery, even just based on the look and texture of it. Okay, I am really liking that. It's kind of reminding me of the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Palette Shimmers, where it's like sort of like a glimmery, shimmery overlay. That sounds bad. That's not quite what I'm saying. It's very glittery, but in like the best way. And you could easily build it up to make it more like bam, pizzazz in your face. I'm really liking this little quad so far. It's actually, this has been a much easier experience with this formula than I've ever experienced in the past. That like glimmery, glittery shade is so pretty. I'm really liking it. So the only shade I haven't touched yet is this one right here, Nude Mauve. And this one I'm gonna use is like my eyeliner. I'm just gonna find my eyeliner brush. And I might do like a little mild shadowing. This is such a basic eyeshadow look, but for me, I'm like, oh, so glam. Alright, so this is the final eye look. I did a mild wing. It's not very obvious, which is kind of what I've been liking recently. So far, I'm pretty impressed with this little mini palette. I generally don't think that Natasha Denona's eyeshadows are worth all the hype they get, but this one worked beautifully. I love the little eye look I got with it. I think it's sort of glam, but also you could like wear it on the daily and it wouldn't be a problem. But now that I'm done with my eyes, I want to move on to face. And so this is a relatively new launch. It's the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint. It went pretty viral. I love the L'Oreal Skin Tint, and this is one that's been compared to it a lot. I actually even tried to get a shade match, and they suggested a way darker shade, and this is 118, and I still think this is gonna be slightly darker. So I'm thinking I'll do one half of my face with fingers and one half with the Blendiful, since those are usually the ways I go, or at least with the L'Oreal one. I can go either like method, and I enjoy it. I'm excited to see how this wears and like how it applies. It's got a vitamin C derivative, so that's nice. I hope the little squeezy thing works better than the Maybelline one or the L'Oreal one, because the L'Oreal one is not worth anything. In fact, I bought a pump for it because it's so terrible. So I'm just gonna like, I don't like to touch droppers to my face. So I'm just gonna like pull some product and put it on a little palette, and we'll go from there. Okay, this is already getting pretty messy. I'm gonna have to like wipe that. I'm just gonna, oh gosh, not quite the right color. I thought it was gonna be closer because like I said, the one that they recommended, what is the word I'm looking for? It was way too dark, and I could tell that. I think those like foundation matching like tests, little quizzes, I think they're kind of pointless. They don't work very well. All right, I feel like I maybe put too much on, but let's just go in and see what happens. This off the bat, by the way, way more coverage than the Danessa Myricks one I tried my last trying to make a video. This has way more coverage. I also put quite a lot on, but I'm pretty impressed. It's covered all my pigmentation. Like, I feel like I put too much on, and I could have gotten away with maybe half that amount and gotten pretty nice coverage. You live and you learn. I'm really liking the finish. Very satin, very pretty. This is immediately going on so much nicer than the Danessa Myricks one. And that one's way more expensive than this one. All right, so this is what it's looking like on one side. I'm really liking it. I'm wondering if I'm going to like it more than the L'Oreal one. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I'm really, really liking that. So we're gonna go in on the other side, and I'm gonna go with the Blendiful and see kind of what happens from there. The Blendiful, generally speaking, is my preferred method all across the board, like with the exception of a few products, but I do really enjoy it with the L'Oreal. The Blendiful typically provides as much coverage as a brush, but because of the texture, I feel like it's slightly more gentle on like my skin, which can be easily irritated. Yeah, so this is looking beautiful. I am super impressed with both sides. They both provided pretty much the same amount of coverage. I do think I could have gone in with a little less product on this side and I would have been fine. I went in with less on this side and then just kind of like built it up so I could match, but I was totally satisfied with just like the one layer I put over here with the lighter layer. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm really liking this. Definitely a little darker than my skin tone, but not in a terrible way, like I could get away with it. So I'm really liking this. Definitely a lot better than the Danessa Myricks one I tried. So the next product I'm going to try is the new Makeup Forever HD Skin Smooth and Blur Undetectable Concealer. I'm very excited to try this out. I haven't had much luck with Makeup Forever products in the past, but I am excited about this one. So I'm just going to go in one at a time. Maybe a little bit more yellow than I was wanting, but I'm just going to go in on the inner corner and then go in one at a time because I don't know if this like dries quickly. Usually I'll like let it sit, like the Catrice True Skin Concealer, which is my holy grail, it's the best. I'll let it sit for like 30 seconds and I'll blend it in, but I don't like to do that with concealers I haven't ever tried before because you could end up with a mess if you aren't sure how a concealer formula works. All right, that went on nicely. I do think that this could benefit from sitting, so I'm gonna try that. Put a little bit more here, let it sit on the other side, because like when you immediately blend it out, I feel like I can still see some dark circles and it didn't do a whole lot for coverage. So we're gonna just do like one little swipe here, let that sit, but then I'm gonna do like what I did initially on the right eye and just let them both sit and then blend them out. I'm obsessed with the way my skin is looking right now with that Maybelline Skin Tint. It is looking so nice. All right, so I let it sit. I feel like it oxidized maybe a little bit and became even warmer toned, so I'm not loving that. But let's just blend it out and see what happens. I think it looks nice. It's not doing enough for me to where I think it's worth a price tag. I definitely think the Catrice True Skin is way better, but it blends nicely, like it's not patchy or anything, but it doesn't have a ton of coverage. Like I feel like you can still see some mild discoloration, and I let it sit for as long as I normally do. I didn't want it to dry too quickly. Like I said, I do think it oxidized a little bit, so I wasn't loving that. It became even warmer toned. I'm not loving it. I don't think it's worth a price tag thus far. Not enough coverage, kind of an interesting formula in not a positive way. All right, so the next product I'm trying out is actually one I've tried already, but it's a powder foundation. It's the new one from Sephora, and I tried it by itself. I tried it in a short, so I'll link that up in the eye and down below if you wanna check that out. Today I wanted to try it on top of a foundation and just see how that works because I like doing this with powder foundations. I typically find that powder foundations tend to hold on to my makeup a little better than just traditional powders. And when you live where I do and it's still warm here, you want your makeup to last all day. So we're gonna try that. I'm gonna try just using this BK Beauty 105 brush. It's what I use to like put powder all over my face. And I'm just gonna use this to kind of like set the perimeter of my face and cheeks and stuff and just see how that works. And like I said, if you wanna go check out the short and see how I feel about it on its own, I will link that for you. So I really do like the way that blurred. It's not like super coveragey like the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. That one definitely provides a little bit more coverage. But this one's kind of performing similarly to the Essence one that I really like, where I don't necessarily think I need to add more coverage. I liked the coverage of this Maybelline Skin Tint on its own. So I feel like this one just kind of like locked it in. I'm interested to see how it's gonna help wear. Like, will it help it wear better? Will it help with like the humidity? We'll see, but I do like the finish I'm getting with it. All right, so the next product, we're gonna see if it's gonna work. When I hold it up to my face, does it look like a powder to you? Because this is the new Double Take Sculpting and Bronzing Powder from Uoma. I got it in the lightest shade. I don't know, would this work on my regular skin tone? Like, I know this skin tone's a little bit darker, but like when I'm holding it to my arm, it looks a little bit lighter than I was expecting, almost like it would blend right into the color of my arm. So we're gonna try it. We'll see if it builds up to anything. It kind of just looks like a regular face powder to me. It looked pretty light on the website, but I guess I underestimated how light it would be. I mean, it's nice that it's so light, but I don't need it to be this light personally. I actually think I'm getting a little something. I mean, it's very light, but I think I'm actually getting something. I hope that's coming across on camera. That's pretty funny. It really does, yeah, it's adding dimension. Was not expecting really much because of the shade. By the way, this is the Ulta Beauty bronzer brush, and I think it's severely underrated. It's one of the best bronzer brushes. I have a piece of mascara in my hairline. That's interesting. Yeah, so it's definitely adding a little something. Not a ton, but a little something. I actually really like that. That's hilarious. I really didn't think that this was going to add anything to my face, but it did, and I like the way it's looking. Very pretty. It went on really nicely. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it would look like it went on nicely regardless because of how light it is. Pretty hard to mess up, I feel like. But I do really like it. I think it's looking nice. We'll see how it wears. I'll update you on that and everything else I'm trying in a future speed reviews. But so far that bronzer actually surprised me, and it's looking pretty good. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup off camera, do my hair, and then we're gonna come back and try the last product, which is a lip product. And I'm really excited about that. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will see you guys in just a sec. All right, so my makeup is finished, the hair is done, and so it is now time to try my final product. This is from the brand Kulfi. It is their new Heirloom Satin Lipstick. This is a brand that's like sold at Sephora. I've tried one of their other products. It's a concealer, and I really like it, but I never hear anybody talk about it, so I want to test it out. I got this in the shade Chatty Kiss. I'll put the name on the screen. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but it's like this brownie nude, so we're gonna see how this goes. I'm excited. The packaging does feel like slightly cheap. I don't know, I feel like I get similar packaging from the drugstore in the like Wet n Wild realm of things, but I'm excited to see how this will work and apply and wear, so let's go ahead and try it out. I really like that. Definitely a little bit more of a slip to it than I would consider like satin. It definitely leans a little bit more to the dewy side of satin than like to the matte side, but I really like it. I like the color. Feels pretty fall. I tend to like gravitate towards these colors because I feel like they, I don't know, I feel like they complement my skin well, and I really like this. So far I really like it. I'll update you on my like final thoughts in my next speed reviews video, so that'll be coming soon-ish. Keep an eye out for that. Put those notification bells on if you want to see that. But anyway, so that is all of the products I had to try today. I had a lot of fun with this video. The only thing I wasn't loving was the concealer. I really loved the skin tint. Oh my gosh. I really hope this wears well because it is beautiful on the skin. I'm loving this way more than the Danessa Myricks one I tried out in my last trying to make a video. And I'm very pleasantly surprised by the Natasha Denona little mini Starlette palette. I think it's really good. I'm excited to continue using it. The bronzer was quite a surprise to me. I didn't think it would put anything on my skin because it's not much darker than my face. In fact, I don't think it's darker at all, really. But it did add some contrast, and I really liked the way it went on. Then the Sephora powder foundation, I really liked to go over things. If you want to know my full thoughts of it on its own, definitely go check out that short that I mentioned earlier. I'll link it in the description box down below for you, but so far I'm really loving the way it's laying over the Maybelline skin tint. And then I really liked the mascara. I feel like my eyelashes look really good. Maybelline pretty much always kills it when it comes to mascara. This is no different, and I think that the packaging is so pretty. I love the purple. And so far, I like the lipstick. I obviously haven't worn it for very long at this point, but I will of course let you know how I feel in a future video, like I said, a future speed reviews video. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, hit the notification bell down below, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. If you haven't checked out the rest of my channel, definitely do so. I do beauty, I do lifestyle, we do vlogs. It's a fun time over here, and I'd love to have you join my little family over here if you like what you see. But anyway, that is it for now, so I hope you guys have the best rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!